Well, hello everybody. Corbett Thompson here, representing the King James Radio Network, King James Radio Network at jamesisking.com. And just wanted to give an update to the followers of our Facebook and Twitter pages on what's going on with the network, which I realize is way down on the food chain in terms of things to think about. So this is more or less when you have some free time, when you're basically bored out of your mind and you're not doing anything, and just to drop a little information on what's happening on this end. But long story short, basically two things. The first thing is a programming note. Basically, because the programming of the network revolves around 97% revolves around live high school and youth sporting events. And since all of those sporting events have been put on hold, so is the network, more or less. so pretty much in the same boat as just about everybody else in terms of that. Same boat as pretty much every other media outlet in terms of just being in a holding pattern until this whole COVID-19 thing comes and goes, which who knows when that'll be. And I think that's the perplexing part more than anything, is nobody knows when this will all end and when everything can get back to quote unquote normal. So that's the whole thing. Although I think there will be a new normal, so to speak, at least for a little while after this is all over, whenever that may be, whether it be in April, May, June, whenever it is. But, with that being said, now, of course, as part of the King James Radio Network, we have covered North Brunswick Raiders sports for the past, since the inception in 2011 of the network. And so going on 9 years now. And so really this is the first time that there's a realistic chance that there may not be a season in terms of baseball and softball, the spring sports that we do for the season. So, that's quite a bit to chew on, if you will. But that being said, if there is a baseball and softball season, then hopefully I can put a schedule together that makes sense. And so there's a lot of variables that get thrown in that. Too long to go into here, but there's a lot of variables that go into that. And so hopefully we can put together a schedule that will make some kind of sense, and you go from there. So with that being said, the two programming notes, and then, I will get off of here. But the two programming notes, number one, we mentioned that all of our live sports coverage obviously has been suspended along with everybody else, but also that our one Sunday program, our one program that is not sports related, which is Restoration Place, which is our Sunday church program, that is more or less the actual audio part of that is actually put on a brief hiatus. If you go to the Facebook page, or if you're already on it and you scroll down, you'll see where you'll see a video from Pastor John Bazemore of Restoration Place, or Restoration Christian Ministries. And so, what we decided, or what he decided to do, I shouldn't take the credit for that, but what he wanted to do was to do a live morning broadcast. And so we just happened to piggyback off of that and put it on the network, on the Facebook page. So that is there if you want to see it. And again, normally we'd be on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time with Restoration Place. However, the live service is every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. And you'll see on the Facebook page, Pastor John Bazemore's page there and all of that. So with that being said, in case you probably hear my son playing the clarinet in the background. And it's been a while since he's picked up his clarinet. But he's got to give himself a break from the whole distance learning thing that he's doing. But again, that's a whole other subject. But anyway, so that's programming note number one. Programming note number two would be just corresponded with Greg Tafaro of MyCentralJersey.com and the Home News Tribune. And so what Mr. Tafaro is doing is he will be hosting a podcast for those of you in the Middlesex County area that follows high school baseball and softball, primarily baseball. But if you are interested, he is hosting a podcast that will air tomorrow, Thursday. Today's Wednesday, so Thursday at 5 p.m. at mycentraljersey.com. And you can follow Greg Tafaro on Twitter at Greg Tafaro. That's GregTufaro, Greg Tafaro on Twitter. He'll give you the link and the information and all of that. And it's going to be on mycentraljersey.com at 5 p.m. starting tomorrow afternoon. He's hosting a panel discussion with some coaches and players from around the GMC, the Greater Middlesex Conference here in the Middlesex County area, and which includes St. Joe's baseball coach Mike Murray, Edison baseball coach Ben Abeni, also a couple of former players will be on as well. So that's the deal there, where he's going to be bringing on different people. Mike Garlotti, a scout. He's a professional scout actually with the Colorado Rockies, but also does some work in Middlesex County in the area with his Teamwork Unlimited Foundation. So he'll be part of the panel as well. And Jay Harry, who was with Metuchen, big time player with Metuchen, he will be on there. And so again, just different guys from different aspects of baseball in the area, local baseball in the area, will be on with him to discuss kind of the state of the union, if you will, for high school baseball in Middlesex County. And I would think that a lot of that would also apply to high school softball as well in the county, even though it may not be directly represented in this particular forum. But so that will be at mycentraljersey.com on Thursday, tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And the reason I'm mentioning it is because for those of you that are not able to get it at that, either A, listen to it at that time, or B, do not have access to mycentraljersey.com, which is a subscription-based service. Now, you can still get it. I should put this disclaimer in. You can still get it for free. You can still listen in for free if you have not used the, I believe it's 5 free articles that they give you when you go on there. If you haven't used the free articles that they give you, you can go on there and still listen to it. If you're not a subscriber and you listened, or if you have used the free articles that they gave you, then you would have to find other means. So that's where the King James Radio Network will come in. Once the podcast is over on that end, Mr. Tafaro has agreed to send me the information to where we can post it to the King James Radio Network website later on after the show, and that'll be at jamesisking.com, and we'll post that right to the top of the homepage there, and you guys can listen to it from there at your leisure. Just something to, like I said, for those of you that are fans of baseball and or softball in high school baseball and or softball in the Middlesex County area with the GMC or any of the surrounding areas, you can go back and listen to that. I would say probably around sometime after 6 o'clock tomorrow night, probably. I would imagine it's not, probably, I don't imagine it being more than an hour, but don't quote me on that. But so I would say sometime after 6 tomorrow night. It will be, like I said, Greg has, agreed to send that information along to me, and we'll post it to the website at jamesisking.com coming up tomorrow night on Thursday. So with that being said, that's, pretty much it on my end. Like I said, I don't, and the only other thing I'll mention is that as far as the network goes, every now and again, it won't be a lot, but every now and again we'll post some classic Raiders games, some, especially for the spring, some classic Raiders baseball and softball games that we've done in the past, 9 years now. Baseball since 2011, softball since 2012, some classic North Brunswick games with some wild finishes and, different things like that. And so we'll put that up periodically throughout the course of this, whatever you want to call it, whatever word you want to use, quarantine or outbreak or pandemic or whatever word, you fancy. We'll put that up, every now and again we'll put up a classic Raiders just to kind of put, guess keep some memory of our high school baseball hopes and softball hopes and dreams in the forefront. So anyway, that's it for me. I'm done. And thank you guys who follow us on our Facebook page under King James Radio Network, and those that follow us on Twitter at King James Radio 1. Thank you guys very much. Do appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you guys somewhere at a baseball or a softball field sooner than later. So until then, Corbett Thompson saying goodbye. Godspeed from the King James Broadcast Center here, the palatial office in North Brunswick, New Jersey. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Until then, you folks, have a good night.